This is Queen City Fame, where we put the Q in Queen and the F in Fame. From Boston to Charlotte, she's in this to win. From clothing to handbags, she created Foxx. Miss Melissa Davis.
Hello.
Thank you for having us in your lovely home.
Thank you.
So who is Melissa Davis?
Oh, I'm opinionated, I'm nice, I'm stubborn, I'm mean, I'm a sweetheart. It all depends on
the day
and who I'm around. Oh, honestly though. Pretty considerate, nice, helpful person. I try to be.
Now, where are you from?
I'm from Boston. Born and raised.
Boston,
Massachusetts.
right.
I do not sound like them, but
You
I
don't.
am from there.
So how many siblings?
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. Mom and dad together have 3. I'm in the middle. Dad has a few others. No matter how you look at it, I'm in the middle. There's 6 of us who literally we all know each other. 5 of us were really brought up together.
Wow. So when did you begin your design journey? Like, when did you decide you want to design something? Did you start with handbags or?
No, I started with clothing.
Okay.
Honestly, in high school I learned, I put it away. A teacher accused me of not making something, and back then I didn't take it for the compliment. I'm in a 16-year-old and you're telling me I cheated.
Right, you couldn't have possibly made this because it was too nice.
Right, so I put the outfit inside out, showed her, I made this. She apologized, but I quit the class because I didn't take it as a compliment.
Right.
A few years later, I met a young lady who was making her own clothing, and I liked her outfits. And I said, wait a minute, I could do that. So we had this little competition. We would go to the club and we would make our own outfits. My father hated the outfits.
Right.
They were a little furry. They were a little tight.
Of course.
They were eye-catching.
I used to make my own clothes, so I know, I understand that. Whatever fabric that I could find.
Yeah, a lot of stretch velour. I mean, all kinds of stuff. But honestly, we got attention, positive attention, not bad attention.
Right.
And so that's what fueled it for me. After that, I moved to Charlotte, and then I met a male stripper. Yeah. Exotic dancer. I don't know what you call it.
Okay, yeah, exotic dancer. Yes.
But he employed me to make his costumes, and then I got some other guys and I made their costumes. Then eventually it segued into making real clothing for both men and women, and that was in 2003. So that's when Foxx officially became a business in 2003.
So it was Foxx when you were doing clothing and not just handbags.
That's correct. I've always been Foxx by design.
You've always been Foxx by design. So what inspired you to start Foxx handbags?
Okay. I was in the fashion industry in Charlotte, literally 2003 to about 2013, so 10 years sweet. Getting recognition, getting some clients here and there, but the follow-through wasn't good. They wanted me to become a seamstress versus a designer.
Right.
I saw this somewhere else. I mean, your outfit is nice, but I don't see it on me. Can you make this instead? Oh, it's prom. Can I get this?
Right.
And I did it, but I didn't like it.
Right, because they were asking you to duplicate other people's designs. Right.
Or not be able to go for my own heart. And
Right.
and it's draining. So I decided I was going to put it down, and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed over it. And I'm like, God, I could tell you don't want me to stop, but what do I do?
Right.
So eventually handbags came into play. I was like, well, unlike clothing, I can have inventory. Unlike clothing, it's one size fit all.
Right.
Unlike clothing, I don't need fittings.
Right.
So I can get this together. And if you like it, you buy it. If you don't, you don't. No hard feelings.
Right.
So in 2014, I literally remodeled my sewing room, changed the floors, knocked down a wall, put in shelving, painted, got new machinery, and set the room up to be ready for bags.
So what is the inspiration behind the name?
You want the preschool version, or you want the real version?
I want the real version.
Okay. The real version is I was dating a rapper back in Boston, a hip hop artist.
A hip hop artist.
And we were hanging out one night, and he was playing on the words, and he was like, Foxx and Skynz, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wait, stop that. I like that. He did it, and I said, Foxx by design. I like that. And that's where the name came from. And literally, my very first bag that I've done is the grab and go, which is the wristlet that people think is a bottle holder.
Yeah.
But it's a wristlet.
Or cup holder.
A cup holder, yeah. But literally what I did is I saw a photo of something similar. It had a way for you to hold it down the front and sit on your back of your hand, and I fell in love with it. And they wanted like $1,000 for it.
Wow.
And I was like, that's not happening.
Right.
So I looked at how it was structured, and I started to map out my own version of it. And I kept the shape, so the trapezoid shape.
Yes.
That's from there.
Right.
But everything else is originally me. But that's where it started from. I made that, and then after that, it was like, oh, well, I like that, Melissa, but I don't see me wearing that. What do you think of such and so? Then I started to make a handle one.
Okay.
After the handle one, I made the classic envelope one. After I did that, they were like, well, what about bigger bags? And so people started asking me, and that's when I started to make the backpack and the tote and the shoulder bag.
Now, what materials do you work with? I know you work with leather.
I work with leather and upholstery, but the leather is mainly recycled. Some of it is not, but it's mainly recycled. So somebody's old couch or somebody's old car seat becomes a bag.
So, could you take us on a design journey, like a Foxx skin journey, and let's take a look at some of your bags?
Sure.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so this is the clutch and carry. This one is a wooden handle. It has a good amount of room in there. It's hard to tell, but there is a good amount of room in here. You can get a wallet, a tablet, your phone, your essentials, your keys for when you're going out on the town.
What kind of fur is that there?
This is a faux fur. It's a feathered looking fur. I've had this, oh my goodness, since like 2004.
Wow.
And I never used all of it, so I decided to put it into the bag since I switched over. And the funny thing is they still have them in stock, so every time I go, I get over a yard because these are very popular.
Oh yeah, I love it.
So this is one clutch. This here is the baby. This is the tote. I also call it the bucket. It's a good size one.
That's great for travel, looks like.
Great for traveling. It can get a lot in here. It's pretty sturdy, stands up on its own, aka that's why I call it the bucket. Pretty good, nice size. Holds up pretty well. This one is the basket. This is a fancier version. This is the higher price one because it's specialty leather. Depending on the materials, the prices change.
Okay.
But it's your shoulder bag, nice standard size.
I love it.
You can get a lot in here. I had my high heel shoes, my Nike camera, all kinds of things in here. These babies, this is the grab and go. My oldest and dearest children. This is the cuff. Excuse me. This is the bracelet.
Nice.
They are wristlets. People think it's a bottle holder. It is.
I was wondering that earlier. Like, do you put your glass in here or, you know, your cup when you're on the go?
Put your hand in here and then you go. And if you want to dance, you can dance without anybody holding on to your bag. Like, I got my bag, girl. Let's get on the floor. Be good. So that's what these are.
That's awesome.
Some good size clutches. You can also get wallets, tablets, keys, camera, phone. You can get a lot in here.
That's a lot of storage.
It is. It really is. This one, oversized envelope, the classic model.
Yes, I
Very
love
classic.
it.
Sleek, small. You can still get a tablet in here, and your cell phone, keys. They all have these pockets. And also, what I wanted to show you was every bag has this signature rainbow zipper. Every one of them.
Every bag.
Every one of them.
So what made you choose the rainbow zipper?
It was just so pretty. When I saw it, I just had to inquire about it. I had to go all the way to China, not personally, but I had to go all the way to China to get them.
Right.
I'm actually working on getting a duller version for men because not every man is okay with wearing a rainbow. Lastly is the most popular bag, which is the sling bag. Your drawstring backpack.
Love it. Love it.
It holds a lot, and it has its own God-given built-in safety feature.
Okay.
You can't really open it like that.
Okay.
But you do it like this, and it's open. And I wanted to say this one has a really good deep pocket, so you have all this.
I love that.
And again,
it feels so
the
good.
signature zipper is there. It's always near my tag.
Every single bag.
Every bag.
So how can someone find your collection? You're in boutiques right now, is that correct?
I'm in Scarlet Boutique in.
So that's Scarlet Plus.
Yep, Scarlet Plus.
Yes.
I'm also in Gold Cloth, which is in Valentine. It's
Nice.
another plus size one.
Nice.
There's a woman named CJ Carolyn Jones, I believe her last name is. She's a mobile vendor. She has a few bags.
Oh, nice.
And I'm literally in the process of shipping a few bags to DC to Boutique 110.
So tell everyone how they can follow you and Foxx to see your journey and then see as you're opening, you know, putting your bags into additional stores.
Well, the website is www.foxxskynz.com, foxskynz.com. I'm also on Etsy, so if you go to etsy.com and you put in Foxx or Foxx by Design. I am on Facebook and I am on Instagram as well.
Instagram under Foxx.
Under Foxx. Mm-hmm.
Oh, fantastic. Well, guys, you've heard it right here. Follow Foxx. You know where to find her bags. And if you don't, you should. That's the end of our show. Thank you so much for letting us, you know, crash your studio here. And this is Queen City Fame, where we put the Q in Queen and the F in Fame. See you next time.
Hey everybody, it's your boy JT.
And I'm your boy Jay the God, and this is Queen City Fame, where we put the Q in Queen.
And the F in Fame.
And we are here today with our boy, RozaydaBarber. How you living, man?
Salute, man. I'm blessed, man.
Bless? Ooh.
Bless.
Hashtag bless.
Hashtag it.
Take a moment. Thank you, Lord.
All day.
All right. So let's just get right into it. So who are you?
I'm a professional barber. I work here in Charlotte, North Carolina, at the Ultimate Barber Lounge, right on J and King's Drive. And I'm just out here, you know, young entrepreneur, just trying to build my brand and my business.
Just trying to build your brand and business. All right. Well, like, so as far as the name Rozay, where did that inspiration come from?
You must like Rick Ross.
Yeah.
Everybody asks me that. I do have admiration for Ricky Rozay, but that's not where the name comes from. My last name is Rozier. So a lot of people called me that anyway. They called me Rozay anyway.
Okay.
So what I did was I just took the Rozay part, which is an acronym of my last name, and just put the Barber on it.
Okay, so you took it from your last name, your first name?
My first name is Jamal.
Okay.
And my last name obviously Rozier.
Okay.
Senior. I do have a son, and he's a junior.
Okay. All right. And how old is he?
He's 10.
10. Okay. 10 years old. Well, where did you grow up? Where?
I am actually I hail from Lakewood, New Jersey.
Okay.
I've been in Charlotte for 5 years, but that's where I'm from.
So as far as your craft, what inspired you ultimately to become a barber?
I've always been good with people, and I had a background in sales for over 20 years, and I've always been fascinated about the craft, but I never thought that I would be able to do it to this magnitude.
Right.
There were a lot of influences that led me to become a professional licensed barber. For example, Tom McGill, who I work with now, I have the pleasure of doing that. He is our owner at Ultimate Barber Lounge.
Okay.
My man Vandergoat from Philadelphia, Kenny Duncan from Philadelphia. There's so many that are out there, but those kind of, led me to kind of walk down the same path.
What are some of the hardships you have to face? Anything pertaining to the hair grade? Any difficulties there?
Well, I'll be very, very transparent. When I was in barber school, straight hair was very, very difficult because I didn't get a lot of opportunities.
Okay.
So I had to kind of learn really, really quickly because the shop that I work at, it's multicultural.
Right.
So we have to be able to service a lot of different clients, whether they be Indian, Asian, obviously Caucasian, and African American.
Right.
So there are different textures of hair that we must be able to perform certain techniques to get that desired style or look. So that was very difficult in barber college, but I'm getting the hang of it now.
Okay. Right.
I work hard, I don't want to ever feel like it got the best of me. So I always take it as a challenge. And I also have an owner that pushes me, Tone stays on top of me to make sure that I'm doing what I need to do. So
That's good.
I'm thankful for that.
Men's cutting has been evolving for the past decade. Could you get a little bit into that? Tell me, how would you say the game has changed? What's things that have transcended up the echelon and whatnot?
I think a lot of styles are starting to come back. Like I remember when I was a teenager, we used to wear a lot of fades.
Okay.
Flat tops and stuff. You're starting to see that trend come back. And a lot of variation with the mohawks, with the beards. One thing about men's grooming that has kind of exploded is facials.
Okay.
People don't understand that. Men actually get a lot of facials, and there's a lot of medicinal aspects to that help the skin, blood flow, and things of that nature. So I also do facials too.
So with all these changes going on, from the fro to the high top to the fade, do you think barbering affects our culture?
I absolutely do think that barbering affects our culture in many ways. Just to name a few, barbers are trendy.
Yeah.
We're very fashionable.
Yeah.
People look to their stylists or their barbers as knowing the new trends, and we stay up with the times. And barbers, I always thought, were cool, because we're always around people. So barbers always good to have around. So, absolutely, I think we're very cultural. We're important to the culture.
You put it that way.
Yeah, he said something smooth. Barbers are fashionable. That's true. Because you think about everything, go get your hair cut. Your barber is fresh.
It's got to
That's
go
right.
with the fit. It's got to go with the fit too.
That's right.
So they have to know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is a magazine here, and it looks like you've been in a couple of these.
Actually, that was the first one that I was blessed to be in.
It's the first one.
Yep. Shout out to OK Hair, by the way. OK Hair magazine. And I just actually got featured in the second one, and that's the lineup, Barber magazine.
The lineup.
So I'm very humble.
2 magazines by 42. Forbes coming soon.
Forbes is next.
Hey.
Forbes is coming.
So you do something with kids.
Yes.
And obviously it's really great. Whenever you're working with kids, it's always an honor to give back to the community. But what exactly do you do with the kids to help them out?
Well, I actually was very, very humbled to be a part of. It's called The Big Cut here in Charlotte. It's a plethora of barbers that get together, and we service the general public. School-age boys, and it's for 1 weekend. It was actually this summer in August, and I actually did it on my birthday.
Oh man.
August 27th, and Hey Miss Jessica from Power 98 was the host, and it was done at the McCrory YMCA, and it was a great experience. I'm glad that I actually participated. It just gives you a fulfilling feeling when you actually do something like that for the community, and I had the pleasure of cutting a couple young boys' hair, and it was a good time. It was a good time. Power 98 was there. No Limit Larry, DJ Butterfingers.
Oh man, I had the full
Yep.
crew there.
Burpee was there too. So it was definitely a good time. I was very honored to be a part of that.
Man. So would you say that's one of the many things of being an entrepreneur that's very rewarding, the giving back, or what else is very rewarding about being an entrepreneur?
Absolutely. I mean, just being an entrepreneur itself is an honor. It's a privilege. So to pay it forward is something that I say should come natural.
Mm-hmm.
Especially coming from where I came from. I didn't come from a silver spoon in my mouth. So at the end of the day, if I could bless somebody else, I know that God will truly bless me. It's better to give than to receive anyway. So, it's something that I enjoy.
So if people want to get more nuggets, they want to get their hair cut, they want to contact you, how would they contact Rozay the Boss?
You can actually contact RozaydaBarber. I'm on Facebook, RozaydaBarber. Please follow my Instagram, RozaydaBarber. Twitter, at Jamal Rozier. but you'll see RozaydaBarber on there as well. If you look on my Instagram, you'll see my booking app. You can actually book me online and make an appointment at your convenience. Or you can just drop by at Ultimate Barber Lounge.
See what I got
right here in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Well, thank you so much, Rose. It has been incredible.
All right, you heard it here.
You
This
heard
is
it.
JT. I'm your boy Jay the God on Queen City Fame, where we put the Q in Queen.
In the effing fame.
See you later, guys.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Queen City Fame, where we put the Q in Queen and the F in Fame. We have a very special guest with us today, Miss Tygerian Burke with Tygerian Lace. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. So, where did the name come from? It's very distinct.
Well, I wish I had an amazing story for you, but I don't. My mom wanted to name me Tiger, and so my dad said, no, what's that going to look like? No, not at all. So they added some extra letters and came up with Tygerian. So I wish I could say it was part of Game of Thrones, but it's not. It's just Tygerian.
You know, you're a designer.
I am.
How did you find out that you had the gift?
Well, I always wanted to design, but you think about, well, how are you going to make that a lifestyle? How are you going to make it sustainable? As a child, you're thinking, oh yeah, you want to be a lawyer or a doctor because you automatically know that they're going to be able to sustain your lifestyle. And for me, the fashion designer just didn't ring that bell, like, yes, you're going to have this lavish life being a fashion designer. So, you know, I went through college and I just chose to study something different. I studied sociology, and I majored in criminology, and I have my master's in sociology.
So, from getting your master's in sociology,
Yeah.
you graduated.
I did.
What happened then? Where'd you go?
I went to corporate America and I studied finance. So I did accounting. Ask me how that happened, I don't know. In undergrad, I actually worked with a company, and I studied finance with them. So it was kind of working through the chain of command. And then when I graduated, I just said, hey, I'll just stay with them. And from there, I just built the background, the history to be able to study accounting. And that's what I did. And then I hated it. Like, I said, you know, this isn't something that's for me. Like, how is this going to work? It just wasn't good at all. So I said, you know what? In 2014, I'm going to do what makes me happy and what makes me smile, and that's fashion.
So you just woke up one morning and said, I'm going to design.
I did. I bought a machine. I got like a little $100 machine, and I came home with some cheap fabric, which was the worst. Like, that I will never, ever use again. But, you know, it was a lesson learned. And I cried. I sat next to my husband and I cried. I said, this isn't for me. Like, I can't get this bobbin threaded. Like, what's going on? So, you know, I worked through it, of course. And from that point, I knew that if I could have such intense feelings to just say, you know what, I'm going to keep going, that this is naturally for me. And here we are today.
So you didn't go to design school?
No, there was no design school.
Wow. So this is just a talent you woke up with and said, I want to design?
Yes.
Wow. So learning to operate a sewing machine, how was that journey?
Many sleepless nights and tears and YouTube, and there's so many resources that people don't know about. I mean, you can definitely YouTube things, you can go to your community colleges and take courses. The local stores, whether it be your fabric stores, usually have some type of sewing classes. So for me, I just chose to be stubborn and like, I can do this, and like read the instructions that you're like, this cannot be for the humankind. Like, yes, you're supposed to thread this and do that, but it worked out. You know, it was definitely just a learning process, and for me, trial and error was the big thing, but I can sew now.
So when you decide to design,
Yeah.
do you start with sketching, or do you start with buying fabric and you just start sewing? Like, do you have to sketch first? I mean, how does that work?
Well, for collections, I have started to sketch. I didn't do it that way at first. I used to just go to the fabric store and say, hey, what can this be? What can I make this into? But for the cost point, it makes sense just to sketch things out first and to have a game plan, to be able to say, okay, I want to produce this idea, and be able to mimic that in scrap fabrics that you have, to say, okay, this is going to look great if it were in a chiffon, or if it were in something like a lace, which I love, and feathers and everything else. But it just makes sense for me to just see what the project is. So if I'm doing a collection, of course, I'll go ahead and just sketch things out. But if it's for clients, I like to just kind of get in with it. Like, I'm like, okay, so what do you want, a red dress for this event? Perfect. Let me just start draping and cutting and just having a ball and working it out as it goes.
That's wonderful. So any inspiration, you know, you would tell someone, you know, coming, say they're in high school or going to college and they really want to do design, but the parents are saying, you're going to law school.
Right.
You're going to med school. Everybody's in medical school. What kind of, you know, inspiration can you tell them? Like, what can you give them, some advice?
You can do anything. For me, it's from having this dream when I was as a little girl to say, yes, I'm going to be a designer, and then going to school and saying, hey, no, that's not going to make sense. How am I going to be able to support myself and make a living for myself? And I'm going to study something else, and then going into a totally different thing when I graduate from college than what I studied, and then it coming full circle back into design and saying your heart will only let you do what you're supposed to do. So just go with it to start with, and it'll work itself out. If you continue to push and you continue to put yourself into action, there's no way that you can fail.
Well, that's wonderful. You know what I would like to see? I would like to see you sketch. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So is this a new collection you have right here? What do you call this?
It is. This is our Fall Winter 2018 collection. So this is an all black collection, which is very interesting. People can definitely criticize most often and say, well, how do you show the craftsmanship in an all black collection? So what we did was we used a lot of embellishments. I used a lot of feathers. We have beadwork. And I'm more than happy to show you a few pieces.
I would love to see.
The first, I wanted to give some great silhouettes that were still timeless. So here we have just a traditional gown with a high split in the front, but I wanted to create something that was interesting to me, which is the neckline. So throughout the collection, you're going to see this one shoulder, which for some reason I didn't like. But when I started to play around with it, I said it works because there's so much volume that's created with the feathers. And then in the bottom, we go ahead and meet the same detail.
Oh, that's
with
beautiful.
The feather work, yeah.
Beautiful.
And then we just lined the neckline with the beads. So it's very, very just clean, but yet intriguing.
Absolutely.
You can wear it red carpet or just out on a date night.
Oh, yes. Now that's drama for date night.
Like special, like take me somewhere fancy. And this is fun. I wanted to give some playfulness in the collection. And what this is a tulle skirt, but the tulle skirt actually has the ostrich feathers that is laced down the front. So what you would do is you would take it and you would just wrap it slightly around this way, and then you would tie it in the front, and then it has like all this volume that it creates.
Beautiful.
And it goes into our next piece, which it accentuates, which is very, very interesting.
Beautiful, beautiful. And the detailing, I see all this detailing here. That's beautiful.
We went ahead and created like a faux flower look with the tulle throughout the waistband. So it's all the way throughout.
Wow, that's gorgeous. Gorgeous.
This right here was just simple. I wanted to do things that were still sexy. So if you wanted to throw it on with a pair of jeans, if you wanted to throw it on with the piece which it goes with here, which is the skirt, the tulle skirt, or if you even just wanted to say, oh, you know what, I want to wear it with maybe some denim shorts or some leggings when you have your booties in the fall and the cute sweater. It still gives you the versatility to say it's ready to wear. So
that is wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, I would definitely wear this,
Right.
this, and this. I need somewhere to go with this right here. This is beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
So you say you do custom design, but if I'm in Chicago, how can I get something custom designed by you?
Well, very easily. You can go to TygerianBurke.com and contact us that way, or you can go through our social media page, which we are very active on. So what we would do is do a virtual consultation. You can get your measurements taken from like a local seamstress, Or you can have it where maybe we can schedule something if I'm in the near cities or you're in the near city, of course Charlotte, the amazing city of Charlotte, and we can get you set up that way. So what we would do is do something simple for like a Skype call, and we would start your consultation process.
So you know, everyone, where you can find Tygerian Burke with Tygerian Lace. She's said a mouthful, so reach out to her. That's the end of our show. So see us next time at Queen City Fame, where we put the Q in Queen and the F in Fame.
Keep